Fuck. Damn, hey, that's a way to start the vid off. What's going on, guys? It's Joe back here again on Joe Talks. Say you guys want to hit that like and subscribe button, it'd be appreciated. But yeah, we're gonna get into the Houston Texans. I'm gonna be honest, man. Houston Texans not looking good. They honestly, in my opinion, they haven't looked good since the end part of last season. But we'll get into that. We're here to talk about Monday night's game. I'm not sure when I'm gonna upload this vid, but I'm gonna talk about the Monday night vid that they just played against the Buccaneers in a crazy ending, man, crazy ending. But yeah, let's talk about it though. So first off, I want to start off by saying Houston, we have a problem. Houston, hey, there's a problem. I'm being honest, because it seems like I don't know what. A cat wants something. I don't know what she want, but yeah, I don't know, man. There's a problem, and I can't really explain it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It feels like they can only score points in the first half. I don't know what it is, because the same thing happened against my team, the Detroit Lions, last year. I ended up turning that game off. Like by halftime, I thought it was done. Goff threw like 5 interceptions in the first half. I thought that game was done. Come to find out, the next morning I wake up, the Tigers, the Lions ended up winning. The Detroit Lions ended up coming back in the second half and winning. I did not expect that to happen, but yeah, man. It seems like Houston is not a second half team, and honestly, that falls on the coach, D'Amico Ryans, man. What you doing, man? Like your team has to learn to play all 4 quarters, not just half. Not just 2 quarters. Like, you need to learn how to play all 4. And I mean, I'm happy I'm not a Houston fan, because Houston's also down 0-2. Honestly, hey Siri, what is the Houston Texans record? The Texans are 0-2 right now. Yeah, so right now, man, the Houston's starting the season off 0-2. And Stroud, I don't know, man. Ever since Stroud's rookie season, I'm going to be honest. Ever since Stroud's rookie season, he hasn't really improved any, if that makes sense. If anything, he stayed the same, and if not, got a little worse. I haven't seen any crazy improvements in him. And I'm not sure if it's the offense, because I'm going to be honest, man, the offense called some stupid plays yesterday, man. They literally had Houston was in every position to win the game. They were home. They were everything, man. They had every position to win the game. What was it? I forgot the score, but they end up driving the ball down. They get to the 2 or 3 yard line, and they call some stupid plays, man. Like, you have Nick Chubbs, and then yes, Tampa Bay has what is his name? Vita Vea or whatever, number 50, that big DT they got that clogs up the middle. So they literally run it. So I think it's first goal or whatever, second and goal, whatever. They end up trying to run it in. Vita Vea blows it up, obviously. You have to double team him. There was no double team on him. It was one dude blocking him. And I'll say this, one dude is not going to block him, at least on a run play. You're not blocking him. So, all right, bet. Run it back. They didn't lose no yards. They got right back to the line of scrimmage. All right, run it again. This time, double team Vea, and then Chubbs follow right behind. Or, sneak it, Like they had so many ways to get in the end zone right there, but they ended up going on 4th down. So wait, hold on real quick. So after that run play, they ended up doing some stupid pass plays, and then, like I say, CJ Stroud, man, he's just not accurate, man. So they run the ball. Then after that, they do 3 or 2 pass plays, turnover on downs. And I can't remember if they got any points. I don't think they got any points from that with them turning the. Yeah, no. So what led? So yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. Hold on. Yeah, so let me backtrack. So yeah, Chubbs can't get in the end zone. Vita Vea blows it up. Then instead of running it again, or at least trying like a sweep play to the outside or something, they end up trying to go all passing when they just need 2 yards to get into the end zone. I feel like the coaching staff needs. I don't want to say D'Amico Ryan, because the defense, man, Texans have some good defense, and then D'Amico Ryan obviously, mainly controls that. For those who don't know, he was a defensive player himself. I think he was a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. So he knows defenses. He's not an Aaron Glenn, so someone who played but doesn't know defense. He actually understands defense. His defense is really good. He has some great players on defense. So I don't want to say fire D'Amico, but it's like, man, like you need to get something going with offense. The offense has been kind of in limbo the last year, 2 years now. Ever since you drafted C.J. Stroud, that was probably the highest point the offense has been that his first year. After that, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's the play call or if it's the quarterback and Stroud, or if it's a little bit of both. Because I mean, yes, those were dumb play calls, but I mean, the dudes were open. CJ just sailing the ball, just missing the guy. So I'm not sure what's going on with Stroud, man. It seems like, hey, for those of y'all who know, it seems like ever since he was spotted with Amber Rose last year or 2 years ago, he ain't never played the same since. I'm not sure what she did to him, but yeah, man, I don't know. It seemed like Stroud ever since that clip of them being out surfing, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, he has not played the same since. So Amber, what the hell you do to guy? But yeah, I feel like Stroud hasn't really had any type of improvements. I feel like he's kind of downgraded, if that makes sense, because a lot of throws last night that he should have made, just he wasn't making them. He was inaccurate. It was either behind the dude or it was over his head. Like, probably the best pass he had in the game was that first touchdown to Nico Collins, man. That was a good ball. That was a good ball right there, and even a better catch. But I mean, hey, that was a good pass. All the other passes in the game, mediocre in my opinion. And then, like I said at the start of the video, Houston isn't really a second half team for whatever reason. So, say they don't get, a good amount of points in the first half, then they're probably going to lose because they're not a second half team. D'Amico, y'all need to work on that, And I like D'Amico as a coach, man. He really came in with Stroud, turned the Texans organization around. Like I'm not, like knocking them, but it's just like, the same thing happened last year, you would end up getting beaten the second half to teams that you're up in, that you were up against in the first half. Then you come out second half and just can't get nothing going. I'm not sure what the issue is. But anyways, so yeah, that whole situation, they ended up not getting into the end zone. They went forward on fourth down, did another stupid pass play. C.J. Stroud missed the dude. And, it was turnover on downs. The good thing Tampa Bay didn't get anything out of it. Well, they had to move the ball from their own, 2-yard line. So they didn't really get anything that drive. But what did happen was a block punt. That kind of shifted the momentum. Houston ended up using that to their advantage and actually scoring with Chubbs finally, after that. But yeah, man. And then, Baker, here's another thing, man. Baker, let's talk about Baker for a minute. Let's just talk about the improvement that Baker, Mayfield has had over his career. I would never expect him to, be in this position and honestly do good. But I'm not going to lie, whenever Baker needs to come from behind, in the fourth quarter, Baker is kind of looking like one of them guys that's like, hey, say you give them too much time in the fourth quarter and it's like a one-score game, or say they need a field goal or whatever. Baker's starting to look like that guy to be like, hey, man, we need to start, running more clock before we give him the ball back, because, hey, man, he came down, man, and scored, because I think they needed a touchdown. Trying to think. Yeah, they needed a touchdown because I think it was 17. Oh, I can't remember. No, I think it was 19-14, I believe. I think it was 19-14, I believe. Say I got that right. I hope I'm not messing up the score, but y'all could look up the score. But I think it was 19-14, so they needed a touchdown to win the game, and they ended up getting it done. And then Todd Bowles, having 3 of his timeouts, on that final drive, even though he only had to use one of them because, they were letting him get out of bounds. Like this was the one drive the Houston Texans defense played terrible. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if they wanted to lose or what, but this was the one drive they played they just played bad, They were leaving guys wide open. Baker Mayfield injured, man, can barely run. Baker Mayfield, you're having him run run for the first down. I think that was third down too. You're having him run for the first down, setting up another fresh downs, and then he ends up passing it to, I think, Irving. And then no one can tackle Irving. He gets to like the 25-yard line. And then, yeah, man, just downhill from there at that point. And then, yeah, they got to the 25-yard line, used a timeout. There was maybe 10 or 12 seconds left. Like I say, great time management. And then it was either that play or the play after that. Or yeah, it was either the next play or two plays after that one. Rashad White ran it in for a touchdown, man. They won. I'm pretty sure the score was 20-19. And Houston falls to 0-2. Tampa Bay falls to 2-0. So I don't know. I feel like Houston, you have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. That's just how I look at it. Because you cannot have a team that only plays 2 quarters and expect to win. Not in the NFL. Maybe you can get away with that in college, but in the NFL, man, you cannot get away with not playing 4 quarters, man, because momentum can switch, like that, in an instant. So say you're one of them teams that is, trailing or lost all your momentum, and then shit worse, say you're not home either to have the crowd back you up. I mean, at that point, it's pretty much a lost cause, so I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, Houston, y'all got a lot to work on. And D'Amico, man, you need to teach your team how to finish out games, man. This is another game that they kind of blew. Not that they were up by a lot, but I mean, but this game was winnable, man. Two really good defenses coming together, so the scoring wasn't really high. For whatever reason, I thought the scoring was going to be high, probably because both of them came out first drive and boom, scored instantly. So I'm like, damn, so this is probably going to be a high-scoring game. Turns out it's not, because honestly, Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay defense, monsters. Houston Texans defense, monsters. But hey, Houston, y'all need to work on your offense, man. Whether that is a new coordinator or just smoothing things over with Stroud, or who knows, maybe Stroud isn't the guy that you thought he was. So before you give him a big contract, who knows, maybe y'all want to move on for him, and move on from him. And I'm not saying Stroud is bad, just in the performance I seen last night for the Monday night game, it didn't look good. He was missing dudes wide open. He was overthrowing, just not accurate like he was when he first came in the league. And I feel like ever since that first season, it's been kind of like a decline or like kind of steady, And who knows, it seemed like Amber Road might have did something. I don't know. Like I said, ever since they were spotted a year or two ago out, it seemed like he hasn't been playing the same. So, hey, Amber, what the hell you do to the kid, man? Crazy. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this vid. That's all the key points I wanted to touch on. But yeah, Houston, you have a problem, man. You need to, check in with your offense, check in with Stroud, make sure everything is good. And yeah, man, hey, look forward, man. Hey, and then look forward to next week, because say y'all go down to 0-3, man. Hey, teams that go down to 0-3, man, like, hey, that's really a hit. I'm being honest, being an 0-3 team. Yes, you can obviously swing it. You could start winning games and be better, but being down 0-3 at the start of the season, it's not a good feeling, especially when you have a good team. Because like I say, man, Houston has a great defense, man. Just the offense needs to get going a little bit, man. Because literally there were no points scored at all in the third quarter. I literally almost started falling asleep. There were no points scored at all in the third quarter. They were all scored in the first 2 quarters and the fourth quarter. So obviously in the fourth quarter, because the defense is going to start getting tired, man. The offense can't get nothing going. The defense is mainly on the field. And you could tell the defense got tired because Tampa Bay was running like crazy, man. They had Rashad White running all over y'all, man. So you could tell, man, the defense was tired, man. Like, the offense needs to get going. Give the defense a break, man. They held them to what? I'm trying to remember the score that it was forever. Was it 17-14? I don't even remember, but whatever the score was going in the halftime, it was that score for the majority of the game until the fourth quarter. Because yeah, the defenses did their job, but the defense can only do so much until they get tired. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to touch up on that game. I thought it was kind of interesting because yeah, something don't seem right in Houston. It does not feel like the first season with Stroud or even the second season, because the second season with Stroud, people were hyped. You know, we started the season playing all right, but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on this year, man. So D'Amico, try to touch in with Stroud, and try to touch in with the OC. You need better play calls, and Stroud used to throw accurate passes. Just calling it how I seen it. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this vid. Like I said at the start of the video, say you guys enjoyed the vid, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. And say you want to check out any vids up here that pop up on screen, that also be appreciated. And I'll catch y'all later. Peace.